Good afternoon and welcome everyone. My name is Lori Matheson and I'm the President and CEO of CPABC. I'd like to take a moment to acknowledge the importance of the land, which we each call home, wherever that might be. And I'd like to acknowledge the traditional territories of the Coast Salish peoples, in particular the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, on whose traditional territory the CPABC offices are located. We do this land acknowledgement to reaffirm our commitment and responsibility in improving relationships between nations and to improving our own understanding of local Indigenous peoples. Please join me in a moment of reflection. Thank you. To our CP passers, congratulations. What an incredible accomplishment. You must be feeling so excited and so proud of how far you've come, and we certainly share your excitement and pride. While we can't be together in person, we're thankful for this opportunity to come together and celebrate you. I want to acknowledge how hard you've worked and how much you have achieved. The CPA program is demanding under normal circumstances, and you've completed it during the most unique and challenging times. Through it all, you've dedicated yourself to building a strong foundation of professional knowledge, values, skills, and ethics, and I applaud you for this. I'm certain that everyone who is with us today, your loved one, colleagues, and classmates wholeheartedly admire what you've accomplished. We can't wait to see where your career will take you. Your education will prepare you to take on positions of leadership and trust and make a positive impact. As you go forward, remember that you're part of a community of CPAs that is more than 38,000 strong in BC and 217,000 strong across Canada and abroad. I encourage you to stay connected to this network, which is there for you as a source of support and inspiration. On behalf of our profession, congratulations. Enjoy your special day.
Hello, my name is Karen Horscher, and I'm chair of the CPABC Board of Directors. I'm so pleased to have this opportunity to celebrate your achievements in the CPA program and in passing the common final exam. To get here, you've held yourself to an exacting standard and committed to becoming a skilled and highly qualified professional. Combined with your real-world experience and abilities, you're positioned as a business leader to make a difference in a sector that you're passionate about. The CPA designation is globally recognized and respected and can take you from the beginning of your career to the very top. Our profession is essential to the economy, and CPAs are respected for their leadership, strategic insight, and ethics. Your expertise is more important than ever. In this new reality, CPAs will have opportunities to lead change, and others will look to you for innovative thinking and trusted guidance to adapt and to flourish. You also have the ability to bring about positive change by helping others and giving back. Volunteering for a cause you care about is an important part of your CPA journey, and I encourage you to look for opportunities to get involved. On behalf of CPABC and the entire Board of Directors, our heartiest congratulations. As our next generation of leaders, your potential is limitless, and we look forward to seeing what you'll achieve.
Greetings. I'm Richard Olford, Chair of CPA Canada's Board of Directors. To our newly minted CPAs, congratulations. You have navigated a long and challenging journey to get to this watershed moment in your careers. The resolve and resilience you have demonstrated is a testament to your dedication and perseverance. And now, it's time to savor the future that lies ahead, a future that presents endless possibilities for individual CPAs and for our profession. For example, there's the growing international focus on sustainability, which creates diverse opportunities. There's establishing innovative practices, frameworks, and standards that champion environmental, social, and governance planning. And beyond that, CPAs can help shape today's data-driven marketplace, drive new forms of value creation, and demonstrate leadership in fostering a more inclusive and competitive economy. Wherever you are headed, trust your judgment. Your CPA designation is a symbol of your passion, your integrity, and your unwavering ethics. I have no doubt that you will have a profound impact not only on your employers and communities and clients in British Columbia and the Yukon, but also on our increasingly global economy and society. Once again, my sincere congratulations.
Hello, fellow graduates. My name is Sammy Liang, and I'm honored to be your class valedictorian. Congratulations on achieving this incredible milestone. The May 2021 Common Final exam was certainly a memorable one. Not only did we have the unique experience of writing in hotel rooms, we also found out the long-awaited result on Friday the 13th, which sure sparked a bit of nervousness for some. But we made it. Looking back to the start of our CPA journey, reaching the finish line seems so far away. But here we are today, celebrating the accomplishment of completing the CFE. But our success in passing the exam is more than an academic achievement. It's a testament to our resilience and dedication through the many challenges of balancing work, personal life, and studies. Reflecting on our CPA journey so far, we have achieved many significant milestones along the way. Now we are embarking on a path ahead which will be full of opportunities for us to succeed. I hope that as we move forward in our careers, in a few years we will look back and celebrate even greater accomplishments. And as we become designated and add the letter CPA to the end of our names, I encourage you to remember that those letters do not define a predetermined version of who you are, nor do they dictate one specific career path. Rather, the CPA designation equips us with invaluable skill sets that we can use in many different ways and as business leaders in every sector. So I urge you to stay curious and explore the vast opportunities that are now in front of us. My fellow classmates, we all worked very hard to be here today, so let's celebrate our achievements and thank those who supported us on this journey. I wish you all the best of luck on your future endeavors. Thank you.
The CPA designation is the foundation of my career. It is the primary tool in my career toolbox which defines me as a professional. If somebody asks me what I do for a living, I always answer first, I'm a CPA, and then I tell them that I work in real estate finance. I find that the CPA designation brings a lot of cachet, a lot of credibility, and helps to open opportunities. You should put yourself out there in the business world, whether it's through volunteering, whether it's through networking, events. Every opportunity that you give yourself to meet new people, to learn new skills, to touch new organizations and industries, you should do it. Because there's almost always going to be an outcome for you there that you never realized would be a benefit of getting involved, and volunteering not only allows you to benefit a cause that you're passionate about, but it also allows you to grow your careers in ways that you never thought were possible.
CPA designation means a lot to me. I think it means everything to me because it has given me an identity. I think CPA designation, I think it really is the designation that builds your foundation really strong. Okay? It's just like when you build a house, once your foundations are strong, the type of house you build on that will last for a very long period of time. You can change the design of the house, the layout of the house, but as long as the foundations are strong, it will last for a long time. And same thing is about CPA designation. Once you get it, it's about that foundation. Okay, whatever you do after that, you become, you go in the industry, you run your own business, you go back to teaching, whatever you do, once the foundation is strong, your career long-term will be great. And CPA designation provides that foundation. It also provides a lot of tools that you can utilize in the future. Like, for example, if you're looking at any tradesperson, they would like to collect all the tools they can, so when a project or a job comes up in the future, they get to utilize those tools. Same thing is with the CPA designation. In that journey, you collect a lot of tools, some soft skills, some technical, all that kind of skill set. And when the opportunity arises in the future, you can take that tool out whenever you need it to be able to apply it.
Well, what I would say is, the CPA career is diverse. People think that they know what accountants do, and they have a narrow understanding of that. I certainly did. I had no idea the depth and the breadth of what's possible. And so I would encourage people to really look to see, to discover what it could look like, the whole range of positions that you can, areas of interest that you can specialize, and there's a real opportunity to find your own self-expression as a CPA. So be open to what's possible and know that there's so many different expressions of what is a CPA. And so you really can find your place there. It's probably not what you think it is.
Congratulations on achieving this incredible milestone. The future is literally yours to pursue, as the CPA designation has equipped you with skill sets that will allow you to practice and excel in virtually any industry, creating connections between stakeholders in your career. This includes developing skills to coach, mentor, and lead. This is far different than merely supervising. It means having an inspirational mindset, the ability to convey the larger picture so others are inspired to do their best. There is a saying that you are only as good as your team, so developing skills to ensure you have a high-performing team is crucial, but in an increasingly interconnected world, the ability to see points of connection and proactively reaching out to have a holistic approach to leadership will ensure that your career opportunities will be abundant. Good luck, and my sincerest congratulations to you.
Being a CPA has enabled me to have an incredibly meaningful and rewarding career, and I am acutely aware of just how fortunate I am to be able to say that, because not everybody feels that way about their work. But for me, that is exactly what being a CPA has meant. And now I work for the CPA profession, so I get to support thousands of students in their pursuit of a CPA designation. And when I think about the bright futures that these students have ahead of them and all the opportunities that a CPA designation will bring, I can't help but feel privileged and honored to be able to play a small role in their journeys.
biggest part is to not try and get it to perfection, given the time constraint is probably pretty difficult too. And especially this year in like May 2021, it was probably hard for everyone, and it was a unique experience to get to write this in a hotel room. And then I think the most fond memory I have is just leaving that hotel room after 3 days and just knowing when I come back, it'll be for a completely different purpose.
It must be the 30 minutes before the CFE exam, when I was eagerly waiting for it to begin. I was staring at the mountains through the window, and time seemed to go by so slowly. I had to keep pumping myself up to get ready for the battle. I'd like to thank my colleagues at ACM Advisors for being supportive and kind, and I'd also like to give a shout out to my cat for being so cute and keeping me company during those late night study sessions.
I was very fortunate to have a lot of mentors help me along the way, so I want to thank my mentors, Leah and John. And I have a couple of friends who are helping me mark my cases, and Alex and Jeff, and I really thank them as well. And lastly, I just want to thank Jake and all my family and friends who just provided unconditional support along the way. I actually wish I knew less, just because it was really intimidating hearing everybody's stories, but it was just going in with a positive mindset, and that's already half your battle.
It's definitely the mindset of explaining the why and not just memorizing the criteria. The why component that integrates the case fact is the key to tackle all issues. I want to be a better professional who can assist in making strategic decisions to grow business.
I want to be able to help organizations grow and to help others who are going through the CPA journey and just help them with the same challenges that I've gone through as well.
Oh, hey! My name is Sean Kanungo. I am so excited to be here with you all, and I want to congratulate everyone. This convocation means a lot to you. I know that because I also have my letters, and I remember my convocation, and it was one of the greatest moments of my life. I still remember to this day. I want to tell you this, that it's been an amazing accomplishment, amazing achievement, but to be honest with you, it's just the beginning. Actually, this entire presentation, I want you to disrupt yourself. And you're thinking to yourself, what do you mean, Sean? Well, this is supposed to be a celebration. This is supposed to celebrate the fact that we reached this point, this highest level of being a CPA. But well, now it's actually time to disrupt yourself, to unlearn, because I'm going to give you some ideas of how we can be more innovative and more disruptive as we move into this profession, and I can't wait. You know, my parents immigrated from India to Canada. They risked everything to come here. So they told me, just get a really safe job. Get a really safe job. And I remember once they asked me, Sean, what do you want to be in the future? And I said, I want to be a hockey player. And they were like, no, here's the definite list of things that you can do. You can be a doctor, an engineer, an accountant, a lawyer, or you can marry a doctor. And you know what? They told me that these jobs are safe. These jobs are safe. And you know what? They had the best of intentions. But today, technology is on an exponential scale. The world is fundamentally changing, not only because of exponential technologies, but because of the changing nature of work. It's not enough to just be an accountant. This convocation is incredible. Don't get me wrong. You should celebrate with your family and your friends. It's unbelievable. The real work starts. And ultimately, what I want you to do is to disrupt yourself. And the only way for us to actually do that is to flip old narratives that we've been carrying on for decades and even years of how the world works. And that's what we're going to do today. You see the agenda right below me? This is what we're going to talk about. We're going to be talking about skills. We're going to be talking about innovation and more. And I need your help during this presentation. On YouTube, in the comments below, you can leave a comment and I want to crowdsource some ideas from everyone. And so the first question I want to ask you is this. Listen, automation, digital platforms, other innovations are changing the fundamental nature of work. What skills and capabilities do you think are required? You know, this question of skills and capabilities is near and dear to my heart for a number of different reasons, because this is what my wife and I are talking about all the time with our kids. We got 2 kids. This is Maya and this is Dion. And this is what we're talking about all the time. Like, what are they going to do in the future? And it's tough as a parent because, you want them to succeed. You want them to be successful. And then, often I just have to remind myself that the jobs, the industries of the future had not been created yet. And I know this because if I look at the last 5 to 10 years, these jobs didn't get created 5, 10 years ago. I'm talking about like blockchain developers and bot managers and data scientists, voice interface designers, esports athletes, diversity and equity and inclusion officers, podcast clip creators. These jobs didn't exist 5 to 10 years ago, and now they exist today. And if you think about your role as an accountant, your role is going to fundamentally change over the next 5 to 10 years. The skills, the capabilities that are required are going to change. But I want to know from you, what skills and capabilities will be needed in the future? And this is an important question because, of course, coming out of this pandemic, it's really changing everything. It's changing everything that we think about work. One of the things is that, now everyone is a remote worker. Everyone is accessible. Talent is now ubiquitous. The other thing that we've learned from the pandemic is that the industrial model of managing work is over. 30-minute meetings, cubicles, getting into the office at 8 o'clock. It's over. Being an accountant in this new era is going to require new skills and new capabilities. And to me, the number one skill as we move into the future is this ability to be a deep generalist with a specialist focus. Being a deep generalist with a specialist focus. A deep generalist is somebody with range, somebody that's a polymath, somebody that has an understanding of what's not only happening in finance and accounting, but within media and entertainment and politics and economics and beyond. This is somebody that can work with diverse people and viewpoints and skills. A deep generalist with a specialist focus. You might be the greatest accountant within manufacturing on the planet, but being a deep generalist will give you extraordinary value. Now, I want to ask you this. Now, this is a bit of a personal question, and I love looking at all the answers. What is the one truth that you believe in that no one believes in yet? What is the one truth that you believe in that no one believes in yet? Now, why would I be asking this question? Well, part of the reason why I'm asking this question is because naturally, this question unearths disruptive ideas. What is the one truth you believe in that no one believes in yet? Put it in the chat. I want to see what people have to say. I'm going to tell you mine, and it's going to sound controversial. Mine is the idea that technology companies are done. It's over. We've had a great run. Technology companies are done. I'm telling it to everyone. A lot of people ask me, they say, Sean, what's the next wave of innovation? And I say, actually, the next wave of innovation is not technological. It's actually cultural. And the organizations and the individuals that get this will be the ones that will win in the future. The reality is that over the last number of decades, the companies that have been very successful have been the tech companies, the Amazons, the Googles, the Facebooks of the world. We can't stop hearing about these companies. And they've been great. They've been amazing. They've been able to go into different industries, verticals, because they've had technological prowess. But over this next era, this next decade, the companies and the individuals that will win will be those that understand culture. The ability to attract clients and customers and a community, and ultimately creating psychological innovations as opposed to technological innovations. So I want to see what people have to say in the chat. Now, I want to introduce to you how do you become a culture disruptor, not only as an individual, but as an organization. I think the first strategy tenet when it comes to culture disruptors is that they understand that there's a power shift happening. There's a power shift happening from firms to individuals. today, an individual is more powerful than a 100-person firm in the 1990s. Part of the reason is because we have all the technology and media in our pocket. And if you don't believe me that we're entering into the era of the individual, you can see it. Jump onto business articles, to Twitter, jump into conversations with your friends. You can't stop hearing about things about the creator economy and NFTs and Bitcoin and the gig economy and solopreneurs and beyond. And this is the implication when it comes to this balance of power shifting. In the early 2000s, we were appalled as human beings that there were companies making billions of dollars exploiting cheap labor. And in the 2010s, we were appalled that there were companies making billions of dollars with very few employees. And over this next decade, we're going to be appalled that there are individuals making billions of dollars with very few employees. The balance of power is shifting. And part of the reason why it's shifting is because every company, every individual understands that the most precious asset in the world today is attention. And once you have attention, then you can build on top of it. You know, it's funny that most of the people at this convocation, you'll probably join an amazing organization, an amazing firm. And for the last century plus, when you joined a firm, you essentially were assigned a number and said, hey, you're you're a cog in the machine. Well, like I said, the balance of power is shifting. And the most important thing for you is to actually build a personal moat. A personal moat is an unfair advantage. It's how you differentiate yourself from the rest of the world. It could be an asset, it could be a skill, it could be a community. Whatever it is, it's finding what is your differentiator. Because the reality is that most of the firms that people are joining and are part of, they have what I call a cultural moat. Through brand and storytelling and heritage and being around for so long, they have built this cultural moat. I mean, even the CPA has built a cultural moat. It's an institution. And by the way, CPABC, they don't want you to just be an accountant. They want you to go off and do incredible things and innovate because that fuels their cultural moat even more. They can go and say that Jimmy and Sally are a CPA and they did this and that. And that fuels their narratives and it fuels their legacy as well. The CPA wants you to succeed and the firms that you're at wants you to succeed as well because it fuels their cultural moat. But the difference is that today, you can start to build your personal moat. You can start to build your own personal monopoly today, the thing that differentiates you from the rest of the world. And I'm going to give you a bit of a starter kit of how to do that. Number one, it's finding your personal moat, like I said, very important. Number two, it's finding a niche, finding a topic that you're really passionate about. Number three, what's actually important is actually building a muscle around sharing your ideas. It could be through video, it could be through audio, it could be a text message, it could be a WhatsApp group, it could be events. Whatever it might be, just do it consistently and regularly. Collaborate with others, bring people along the journey, and lastly, practice and teach others. This is how you navigate in this age of the individual, in the era of the individual. This is the starter kit. Now, the next thing I want to ask you is this. What is the best thing that you can do to accelerate your own career and your own growth? Put it in the chat. What is the best thing that you can do to accelerate your growth? Put it in the chat. I want to see what people have to say. In my mind, the thing that we can do to accelerate our growth is not only innovation, but ultimately to drop our own identity, drop our own expertise, which is crazy because everyone just studied for this CPA exam, and now I'm telling you to unlearn it all. And that's why I really believe in this idea of innovation. And I want to introduce a concept to you. It's called mimetic innovation. It's this idea that innovation can be contagious. It's this idea that innovation is mimetic. And in order to understand mimetic innovation, you have to understand mimetic desire. Now, human beings are not original. Human beings are not original. We are just the most efficient copy and paste machine ever created. Mimetic desire is a term coined by a guy named Rene Girard in 1961. It's this idea that we actually don't know what we want as human beings, so we imitate others. In fact, we don't create our own desires at all. We just imitate other people's desires. Mime means imitation. And once you start to see the power of mimetic desire, not only will you understand mimetic innovation, which I'll bring up, but you will see mimetic desire throughout your own life. You'll see it in every industry, in media, and politics, and economics, and beyond. This is what mimetic desire is all about. I mean, I even see it with my kids, for example. A couple of weeks ago, I was at my friend's house, and there were 5 or 6 kids there, and there were thousands of toys. And I thought to myself, like, am I a good parent? Like, there's thousands of toys here. And it's funny, this kid picked up this yellow bulldozer, and he picked it up, and he was like, wow. Another kid came over, and he was like, wow. Another kid came over and said, wow. My son, Dion, he came over, and he was like, wow. And all I thought to myself was like, can you just like stay back? You look like you're thirsty, all right? Just stay back. And what's interesting is that this bulldozer had no value 5 minutes ago, and suddenly it had value. How did this happen? Well, it's really mimetic desire. Once someone values something, it actually immediately, subconsciously places value on that particular object. We perceive that object to have value. It's called mimetic desire. It's this idea that desires can be contagious. I really believe in this idea of mimetic innovation, that innovation is contagious. And I believe it because I've seen it. I've seen it within organizations and individuals. Once you start innovating in a particular area, it will inspire other people to go off and innovate as well. You can actually be a catalyst for other people to be innovative. You see this in basketball as well. You see my favorite player in the world, his name is Steph Curry. He revolutionized basketball. He would take a three-pointer and shoot it from the moon and do it efficiently. Not only did he inspire an entire generation of basketball players growing up. I mean, go to a basketball gym now, you will find just kids just hucking up threes. It's unbelievable. But inside the NBA as well, with the current players, he inspired people to say, you can actually take three-pointers at an efficient rate. And this is a new way of playing basketball. He revolutionized the game of basketball. If you see the number of times people take three-pointers, and also the number of people that take 30-foot three-pointers, those are long-distance three-pointers. I mean, it's been exponential. It's mimetic innovation. And my ask to you is this, as new leaders in this new world, is I need you to be mimetic. I need you to create the innovations. And so this requires you to create your own innovation capital. Innovation capital is a muscle. Innovation capital is your ability for others to believe in your ideas and for you to unlock resources in order to make those ideas happen. Innovation capital is this idea that by starting with very small experiments, with very small initiatives, not only will you be able to work on crazier and more ambitious projects, but you will also inspire other people across the companies that you're working with or the companies that you're starting to go off and innovate as well. And I'll leave you with this. You know, I know a lot of us have been through this pandemic, and it's been very difficult. The fact that we're doing this convocation virtually, it would have been nice for us to do it in person. But I'll leave you with this. There's going to be a lot of think pieces about what the pandemic is all about. And my analogy around the pandemic is that it was a time machine. Some of us came to this time machine with a very heavy bag, a bag full of old ideas, bad PowerPoints of hierarchy and bureaucracy, old ways of thinking. And some people came to this pandemic with a light bag full of wonder and optimism and ability to be nimble and flexible and experimental. And I can't predict the future, but I believe that the future will be very favorable for those that come into this new world with a very light bag. And I hope the same thing for you as well as we move into this new world of being an accountant. Not only has the pandemic accelerated this, but I really hope that you come into this new world with a very light bag. I want to thank you so much for having me. I also want to congratulate you again. This is the greatest stepping stone, the greatest foundation for your career. I know this because I was there with you as well, and my wife and my father as well. This profession is in my DNA, it's in my blood, and the last thing that I want is for this profession to turn into an algorithm or a commodity, and requires people like you to go off and ultimately disrupt yourself. I want to thank you for your time today. It was a pleasure.